welcome everybody to a special edition of In the Now. Now, it's special for a couple reasons. Next week, there will not be a show. I know, you're disappointed, I know. But listen, there's a really good reason for it. On the 11th, and that's all I'm going to say, I want everyone to I'm going to start putting it out there. On the 11th, be prepared for something brand new. We're going to be doing a little bit more for you at my TCN TV network. So, I don't know. It's kind of sad. It's going to be like a last for me, and you guys will understand why soon. So, today, with elections only 6 days away, I wanted to designate a little bit of time to the political process. And honestly, this is the first time that I've ever pushed. Like, I know people who are like in their 40s who have never voted in Canada. And I know most people's thoughts are, why bother? I get it. I've heard it all. Why bother? What's the point? The government controls everything anyways. We don't got no say. All of that is correct. And I don't go against anything you guys are saying. But I will say this. If you can't even give yourself a fighting chance, you can't complain. If something's going on, if you're complaining about your building, how your building isn't taken care of, there's a slight chance that you could have voted somebody in who maybe would have done a little bit more for us. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are in control. So we've got to find a way to put the right people in our government that are going to do the most for us. We can't ask for everything because we're not going to get everything. But for our community, we need some stuff. So in saying that, I'm going to break down this process of voting for you as simply as I can. And of course, throughout the show today, me and Anisha are going to be working together on this because it's a lot of information. So you'll be hearing me talking, but there'll be a lot of photos up, and on them you'll see the website for Elections Ontario, Canada. So please pay attention to those. If you're watching, if you get this replay, you can legit watch this and just go on and vote right away. Yesterday I registered for two things. I myself registered to be a returning deputy officer. I've actually been involved in the polling process, which is why I understand it a little bit more and why I know why it's important now. And also, right after I registered. So now I'm a registered voter. They have my name, and I'm going to go through all of that with you guys now. But it's very, very important. So let's go over the process first of all. I am going to go in as depth as I possibly can because we don't have too much time, because of course I do want to spend some time speaking about what our choices are. Sometimes I've heard some people say we've got to pick the best out of all the evils. You know, we all have our opinions on politics and things, but all I can do, of course, again, is give you the information, and we have to choose somebody to represent, somebody to do something for our community. So election day, and I'm going to actually put up my very first slide, is the process of voting in Ontario. I don't know if anyone has seen this card before. This is the elections card. I'm going to leave it up, so I want you to take a look at certain pieces of information on that. So there are many ways to vote in a general election. You can choose the option that works best for you. So there's many options to do this. They've even made it easy by going online to do certain things. So you can vote in person before election day at your returning office. So returning office is some government established building in your neighborhood. It could be a school. Mostly it's schools. That's what I've noticed. Usually they go to like elementary school. So it's probably a school in your area. Sometimes it's libraries, but they will have a returning office. So from May 10th until June 6th at 6 p.m. So you have up until then to vote in person. So you can vote before election day at an advanced voting location from May 26th to May 30th. So that's already gone. If you haven't already done advanced voting, that's gone. So I will talk about that. So in case you want to do it next year, you know how to do it. But for now, you've kind of lost that option. So you can vote in person on election day, which is the day that most people will be voting, on June 7th. And you can also vote by special ballot. Now, a special ballot takes care of certain circumstances, and this can be done in person, by mail, or by home visit. So there's different, of course, people have different disabilities that they have to deal with. Sometimes people aren't able to get out. But what they've done is they've made it possible for everybody to vote. So below is all the information. I'm going to tell you a lot of information about voting in the 2018 general election. You can also find more information when and where you vote from your own visitor voter information service. And again, I'm going to be putting up some pictures. I think I'll put up the next one there that begins to talk about, let's see what this is. Yes, okay. So this is just, I'm going to leave this here for a second, understanding how easy this process, how easy they've made it for us to vote now. So first question some people are going to ask is, can I even vote? Good question. So to vote in an Ontario provincial election, you must be all of the following. So you have to be a Canadian citizen, you have to be 18 years or older, and you've got to be a resident of Ontario. So refugee claimants, temporary and permanent residents, you guys cannot vote as of yet. Until you become a Canadian citizen, you are not able to vote. So here is now how you register to vote. So there's a next picture I have there. They talk about how easy it is, again, about doing this. So how do I register? So your name must be on the voters list to vote. Now, in saying that, you have to register. You do have to get online and click that button to register. It's number one. It's very easy. It's very guided, okay? You have to do that or you're not going to be able to vote. But you have up until the 7th. So we still have like a full week almost, all right? The voters list can have mistakes in it sometimes, and sometimes names are missing. So, of course, when you do go on that day, you're going to have to bring your ID. You have to have at least 2 pieces of ID on you, okay? If you're not on the voters list, you will get a notice of registration card in the mail before the election day. And that was that very first card that I put up. That will show, was basically the card that you'll get to say, okay, you are on the voters list or you're not. You've got to get on it, though. They're going to try. If you haven't, I've noticed I didn't get mine this year, so I don't know. Maybe there's a hold up there, but again, you can go online. Maybe that's why they made this option so easy. If you're not on the voters list, you can add your name before or on election day. Registering at your voting location will take extra time and you'll be required to complete a form. So what you don't want to do, and yes, there are tons of forms. When you go there, you have to, good thing is you do have people who do give you guidance on how to do certain things, but it's better to just register ahead of time because you don't have to go there and fill out forms. You just want to go there, cross off your name, put it in the ballot box, and walk away. It can be that simple or it can be really, really difficult, okay? So, voting options, my very next photo. Okay, so again, I was talking about ballots and the different type of things you can do. Here's again a list that you can look at as the ways you can vote. So now let's look at some ID that is required. So what do you need in order to vote? ID for requirements voting. Election day, let's see. On election day. All right, so on election day, you can use an original identification document, a photocopy of an identification document, or an electronic copy displayed on a mobile device. So they've made this really easy. As long as you can ID that you are who you are, you can do it in any of those ways, okay? This includes utility bills received electronically. So if you have you have your hydro bill or your phone bill, anything like that, that shows your name and address and you have something with your face on it, you're good enough to vote. So it's not an excuse. Are you shaking your head, Dave? Yeah, right? You're checking up on, Dave's checking up on my work. That's what he's doing. He's trying to see if I know what I'm talking about. I've done this, Mr. Non-voter. I'm going to call Dave out. Dave's never voted. Ever. Called you out. But this year he's voting and he's registered. Remember, call it's not good because now he's registered. He's right. So let's look at the very next picture right there. Unsure of where you can go and vote. So you didn't receive a voter card like I didn't. Elections Ontario has an option on their website for you to find out the nearest voting station to your postal code. So that's another problem is a lot of people are like, okay, this task, it's just too difficult to do all of this. So you go online, you click, you are able to find out just by putting in your postal code, which we're going to go through, you can find out the polling station that's closest to you. And like I said, it's probably going to be like a school. That's what I've noticed in my voting experiences and when I worked last year, that it's usually a school that you go to, okay? So I'm trying to think if I should go into the process. Yes, I don't know. I don't think I will. You know what? I'll start. Let's start with how the process is going to look. So I'm going to pull up, and this is picture number 7 in each of the Elections Canada page cover. I'm going to pull this one up. So when you click on, this is what you're going to see at the top. You're going to see the voting, political entries, political financing, resources, media, about us. All you need to worry about is that button that says voting. From that button onwards, it is like clockwork. You just have to click on that And it starts basically directing you exactly. I did it last night. It took me, honestly, to register, it took me 5 or 6 minutes. And I think with Dave, he wasn't found in the voting list, right? He wasn't found in the voting list. So now for him, he just has to go down there and fill in his name and his information and bring his ID. He needs ID. So passport, whatever he has to show that he is who he is. And this is where I live. Here's my bill, my utility bill. That's all you need. So when I come back, we're going to actually walk through this process. I'm going to go through it with you. We're going to show this back again when we come back and look at how easy it is to get this done, guys. Back on In the Now. See you soon.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity and our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to In the Now. If you are just joining us, we are talking about voting today and why I'm going to brand the show Vote to Live, because at the end of the day, we are all living in this province, and anything that's happening in this province is going to affect all of us. So That was my mom calling. That's why. For a second, I'm sure she's watching it and saying, Simone, be careful what you say. I'm just going to present the facts. I'm not showing any bias. I want to make sure that you guys know the process, and that once you know the process, you're like, okay, now I can make a decision on what I've seen presented, okay? And of course, always do research on stuff. Never take my word for it. Do your own research. Make sure it's clear in your mind and you feel settled with your choice, all right? So, voting. I'm going to put back up that flow chart here, and let's just talk about voting a little bit, okay? So now you're on the page, and in the section of our website, and they said, and this is from their website, Elections Canada's website, okay? In the section of our website, you can find information you need to know about when and where to vote, how to register as an elector, how to find your elector district, and accessible voting methods. So accessible voting methods are for those people who may not be able to get out to the polls. They even have an option for people who are in the hospital. So there is different options right now for voting. They've made it possible that everyone who is able to vote can vote. If you're blind, you can still vote. If you don't even speak English, and then we're going to get there because that's a huge one, the language barrier. So now, right after that, you're going to be asked, I think the very first prompt we got was the postal code prompt, okay? So it just asks you to put in your postal code and search. And once it does that, it searches up addresses for that postal code, okay? So once you click on that option, and that's the very next picture, love. Once you click on the option that best suits you, you're going to be directed to a completely different page. And on that page, I'm going to tell you what you will see. You're going to see vote on election day, other days and ways to vote, candidates in my electoral district. So there's actually a breakdown. This one's not, the one I'm showing you is not how it looks when you see it. There's certain things that you have to like screenshot. And I didn't screenshot it. I should have thought of that. But at least I'll let you know what's going on. This is still on the website. You're going to see the information very clearly though. Certain things like voting on election day, how to do that, other days that you can vote, and of course, again, people who are in your district that you can vote for the party you choose. So if you choose to vote on election day, you'll be given the address and other key info for the nearest voting locations near you. If this option doesn't work, you're going to click on other days and ways to vote. So again, they're making it very clear. If you can't, here's an option, okay? So questions, if there's any questions, and I do have yep. So I believe the website is there. So I was speaking about this. That is a website that you need to go to, okay? Let's talk about what this ballot looks like and what's the best way to fill it out. So it's not confusing. Actually, what they do is they do a really good breakdown of the ballot box and how you should and should not check things off. So this is again straight from their website. The ballot is a list of names of all the candidates in your area and the political party they belong to. The ballot will have a white circle beside each candidate's name. Put an X in the circle next to the person you want to vote for. You will go behind a screen so you can vote in private. So you do have a screen that's, no one's going to see your vote. This is your personal business, okay? Give your ballot back to the poll officer and they will put your ballot in the box. You are now finished voting. It's that simple. So once you've registered, you've gone in. If you haven't registered online, you go in, they find your name, you put that ballot in, you're done, okay? To make sure your vote counts, though, they told you they have to be really careful, and they show that stuff up here, but I'm going to go into details about it right now. Do not sign your name on the ballot. The moment you do that, it is void, okay? And you've just wasted your ballot. Write the X only. Don't do lines, no circle bubbles, an X. Very specific. That's all they want is an X. Do not write anything else on your ballot. Nothing else at all. Not a number, not a thought, nothing. Just the X, okay? If you make a mistake while marking your ballot, you can get a new one. You just go back to the person who you first went to, and they will get you another ballot to fill out, okay? Now, if you opt to vote in person before Election Day, which you can't anymore, but I'm just going to go over this quickly so that you know for next year. There's usually polling that's done at least 2 weeks before, Okay, so that's just something for you to know. I'm not going to go in again into too much detail. I'm probably going to skip that part because there's other things for those who can vote that I want to get out there in this section. Okay, so language barriers. So this is a big one. What happens if you are not able to speak French or English? There's a lot. Canada being a multicultural country, we have a lot of different ethnicities, cultures here, languages here. So sometimes an issue is just, I don't even know what to do when I get there. So this is where community does get involved a little bit. So you can actually have someone come with you who acts like a guarantor. So you'll come with your ID again, same thing, come with that ID, utility, something showing where you live, that this is you. And the person will say, I came as their speaker. And then they have to sign paperwork, again, paperwork for everything, because they want to make sure that you are okay with that. But they can actually translate what they see to you as long as you're okay with it. So language now is no longer an issue. You can get past the language part of it, okay? One of the things I put down as just a reminder, and I want to say this, don't let your language or your inability to read, because this also works for those who may not be able to read. There's still a high percentage of people think it doesn't happen, but some people just cannot read. Again, find someone that you feel comfortable with, who knows you, who can do that for you, who can come and read your options. If you want to do your research ahead of time and have someone read it for you before you get there, so that when you go there, you already have in your mind, okay, this is who I'm voting for. You just have to put the name, check it off, and you're done. But do not let these little small things hinder you, because again, a lot of the services that we could be getting might be helpful to you. And it's good that you know, okay, is this going to work for me? Especially with an issue that I might have. If I'm illiterate, more schooling programs might work good for adults. That might be a good thing for you. But again, if you're not doing anything, you're not getting anything, okay? So, can I get help voting? I think I'll put up the very next one, Anisha. So, you can get help from a full friend, which I was telling you guys. All that is also included in the Elections Canada. You guys can take a look at that. I want to talk about when you're away, because sometimes people are away at school. I know a young lady who's away at school. Her mom's like, I'm flying her back in so that she can... Mom, you don't have to do that. We can still handle that. Go online, same website. They're going to give you this information. So if you're away on election day, by going to your returning office before May 10th, so if you haven't done this and you've already been away, you may not be able to do the side of it, but you can still go online and they can give you directions on how you can send in a special ballot, okay? So just because you're away, again, does not mean that you can't vote. There are special ballots. And again, once you hit that voting section, everything comes up for you, all right? So accessibility. So my voting accessibility, it's very, very important. And this is, again, straight from the website. We are committed to removing voting barriers faced by Ontarians, I can't even talk, with disabilities, and to making the electoral process more accessible for all voter services, for accessible voting, including assistive and voting technology. So sorry, I jumbled a little bit of that up. Basically, they also have technology that helps. There's different things for people who are not able to see or people who are not able to hear. They have ways for you guys to vote when you go there as well, okay? All voting locations meet Elections Ontario site accessibility standards for the 2018 general election. You can contact your returning office to learn more about the accessibility of your voting location. So again, your returning office is the office that's closest to you, that is handling the ballot and the process, the hiring of people who want to work for it as well. All this is done, again, it's all on the website for you. It's been made very, very, very easy. If you want a phone, you can also do that. 1-888-668-8683. And again, this number can be found on the website. I just want to say it here so that you know that there is options. There's different ways that you can get in contact with them. They've made it a lot easier. So once you've figured out, I have a whole bunch of information here. I'm not going to be able to get through anything. Or through everything. I'm going to say this. There's even an option. They say, what if you don't have a permanent address? So this may speak to those who are homeless. Can I vote if I don't have a permanent address? What do they say? Yes, where you eat or sleep most often in the last 5 weeks before the election is your home. So if you've been in a shelter or if you've been somewhere for about 5 weeks, that is considered your permanent residence for that time. okay, right before the elections. So even you are still able to vote. I'm going to say this before we leave and come out of this segment, that if you guys know in yourself that this is important, please share this video. It's very, very important that people understand how easy it is. Legit, everyone, this is a click. That's it. This is clicking on Elections Canada, and it'll take you through the process. And it's easy, and you'll be able to say, at least I did something. I had a say in something, okay? When I come back now, what we will do is start breaking down who are you choosing? Why should I even vote? Because these people are going to determine what happens to you and your future generation. So remember that. We'll be back on In and Out.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Hi, everybody. I'm sitting here jamming to like no music. I don't even have music to jam to. Well, you guys can't hear, but I can. All right, welcome back to In the House. This is a serious show. I shouldn't be laughing. This is a very serious show. It's about voting. If you are just joining us, the very first two segments, everybody, I need you to go back and watch it. And I'm going to ask everyone to just do one thing for me. Very, very simple. Just share this with one other person. Just tell them, look, just watch the first half. It's as easy as a click. That's what's happening with voting now. It doesn't matter what your situation. It doesn't matter your language. It doesn't matter your homing situation. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're away from home, you can vote. And it's very important, you guys. I don't think you understand what's happening in Ontario right now. A lot of things are going to change if we don't make some choices here, okay? We need to at least be able to go to somebody and hold them accountable for what they say and get some things done. If not, then, we did try our best. We did our best, okay? So, who are you voting for and when will you vote? So, I'm just getting used to this Apple thing. So, in the provincial election, you are voting for a member of provincial parliament, which is called also an MPP, Ontario, which now has 107 MPPs. Your vote also helps choose the Premier of Ontario. As you guys may know right now, the current Premier is Kathleen Wynne with the Liberal Party, okay? The Premier is the leader of the political party that has the most candidates elected, all right? You do not vote for the Premier directly unless they are also the MPP for your riding, okay? So the Premier is the leader of that. It's like, just like when in school, when you guys had elections in school, like if someone gets the most votes, and they have a group of people working with them, that group of people is their team. And the person who led them is going to be the leader. That's how it works. It's very, very simple, okay? Now, what does the provincial government make decisions about? So I do have a picture. It's 18. Nope, it didn't come up. Okay, so what does the provincial government do? They make decisions on a few things for us, okay? And I was supposed to have a picture, and I don't, so I do apologize about that. But I'm going to go through the list really quickly, okay? So healthcare. This is why this is important. OHIP, your free health. The going to the doctor, not having to pay. They take care of that. Education. That's right. You know that big uproar about the education, the new sex ed that's been put in? That's because she had the power to do it, guys. So she did it, right? So when everyone complained after, it was like, well, did you do anything to prevent that? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, okay? Employment. Access to regulated professions and trades workers' rights. So they're looking at a whole bunch of different things now when it comes to employment. Numbers I chose to stay away from for this because sometimes numbers are just confusing. Looking at them doesn't do anything for you. It's just like, okay, whatever. Okay, I want to just give you guys the facts, all right? So transportation, highways, driver's license, okay? Services for families such as marriage and birth certificates, some child care services, low-cost housing, community services, and also some civil and criminal justice. So they do quite a bit. The provincial government does quite a bit. So who are we voting for? So this first one's going to be a little bit short, only because what the party is offering is a little bit short, and that's not, again, I'm providing these facts. So my very first clip is going to be about the very first runner-up, Mr. Doug Ford, with the PC Conservative Party.
It's about turning this province around and getting it back on track.
Doug Ford is here for the people of Ontario, to clean up the hydro mess, to bring jobs back, to end hallway healthcare, to put money back in your pocket, and restore accountability in government.
Relief is on its way.
So yes, I'm laughing because Anisha's like, Simone, remember to stay unbiased. Listen, I'm going to be unbiased. I'm presenting the facts. Guys, you, again, don't take my word for it. I'm just going to show you what I found, okay? So here are some of the components of the PC Conservatives platform. Due to the layout, they choose to present their platform, including all of its segments, okay? Now, this is the problem. Doug Ford says a fully costed platform is coming. So as of right now, guys, PC doesn't have a platform. We don't know what they're going to do for us. There's been some talk of certain community events that have been put on where he just didn't come, right? Okay, and I'm speaking to the West Indian, the African community right now. There's sometimes he just didn't even show up to some of these things, okay? And he's not presenting anything for us to judge him on. And that means anyone in Ontario. Like, we know some of the numbers that he's thrown out. In recent days, for example, Ford has been hammering at the NDP, saying that the party is not ready to govern, and landed his team as ready right out of the gates on June 8th, the day of the election, okay? But with no platform. We don't know, again, we don't know what they're going to do. We want to be able to vote for you, Mr. Ford, but what are you going to do? When asked when a platform would be released, the PCs are the only party without one. The message is that the one is on the way and that his campaign announcements are all part of it. So everything he's been talking about. So, I would suggest you guys doing for PC, because maybe you'll be able to pull something out of it that might resonate with you. Go and check out some of his messages. If you go on his website, just put in Doug Ford on Google, it will come up, believe me. Go to his website and take a look at what he has to say. I'm going to show another short clip about kind of all three of them before I go into our next party.
Doug Ford got his last chance to make a first impression with most Ontario voters in Sunday's leaders debate, and he did about as well as could be expected without a costed platform to defend. But polls suggest the NDP could now be ahead. Can the Tories hang on, and if so, how? On Monday in Newmarket, Ford shares the spotlight with a dozen of his high-profile candidates in a ready-to-govern candidate roundtable. It's surprising this hasn't happened before. People like Christine Elliott, Caroline Mulrooney, and Rod Phillips are far more conventional choices for cabinet than Ford is for premier. Showcasing other Tory talent might help assuage people's fears and suspicions about a Ford administration at Queen's Park. And so might a platform. In Sunday's debate, Ford protested that all his promises have a dollar figure next to them, but that's exactly the point. Where's it coming from? He says efficiencies, but a lot of people hear cuts. The polls are open, the battle lines are drawn. The Tories say they're the fiscally prudent option. A platform really shouldn't be too much to ask.
So, again, making sure that I'm just delivering you information. Do your research on this. These are things that are coming up. There, the information's out there, guys. You have to know what's going to happen for you. And so far, I've presented our first party, and with PC, all I can say is there's not really a platform. They've promised a lot of things, but even with their promises, there's a lot of things where it's like the money has to come from somewhere. Where is this money coming from that's going to do all that stuff? What does that mean for us, the ones who are not making $100,000 a year or making 6 or 7 figures a year? What's going to happen to us? Are we going to be affected by that? We don't know, again, because there's no platform, so we can't speak on it. Let's go to another party and see what they have to say. Again, I'm going to go through them and see what's next. So the next party I'm going to go to is led by Andrea Horwath, and that is the NDP party. So let's see in a short clip what the NDP has to say. What are they going to do for Ontarians?
A lot of people have become very cynical about politics and politicians. They see what's happening currently in Ontario, just deep sense of disappointment. It absolutely does not have to be this way. I really believe that there are decisions that governments can make that will make it easier for people to have a good life. I think Ontario should be a province where people can build a good life. Is that too much to expect? I don't think so.
Okay, so we've been given a little bit more here, right? Like now we can start talking about, okay, now something's been presented. Now they're at least telling us what they're going to do. So let's talk about the NDP first of all, okay? Because again, I'm going to present all sides. So Canada is a great country, one of the hopes of the world. New Democrats are progressive Canadians who believe that they can build an even better one, a better country that's more prosperous, sustainable, and where no one is left behind. And of course, these are just words, guys. Remember, people say anything. We want to see some of the action, but what's been going on? So Canada's NDP has a proud history of fighting for ordinary Canadians and delivering results. Over the last 50 years, New Democrats have helped ensure the introduction of universal medical care, public pensions, and the expansion of Canada's social safety net. So again, anyone can say anything. Whenever you're making a decision, you've got to look at what's been already done. What's happened already? What is their track record? Okay? So, Mrs. Andrea Horwath, all right? This is actually a message directly from her. So this is, again, if you go on the NDP website, you will see this. But I want to read this to you so you can get an idea of what she says she wants to do for Ontario. So, dear friends, I'm running for Premier because now is the time for change for the better. It's time for something completely different. People are feeling cynical about Ontario politics today. After 15 years of Liberal government, families are feeling squeezed. Services are being cut and people are working harder but not getting ahead. After decades of switching between Liberal and Conservative premiers, things just seem to go from bad to worse. It's time to stop settling. Let's replace cynicism with hope. Let's have a government that listens, that gets it, that solves problems instead of creating them. Let's make drug and dental coverage a reality for every last Ontarian. Let's make university and college, hydro bills, and childcare all more affordable for everyone. Let's invest in services like transit and affordable housing. Let's make the big changes our healthcare system needs to cut the wait times and to end hallway medicine. So if anyone knows a hallway medicine, actually I have a friend who just had to deal with that. And that's pretty much where you're just sitting in the hall most of the time. And I had to. Thank you for putting up this picture because, again, these are just words, people. These are words. We've got to see the action behind it. But, again, now at least we're seeing something. Someone's speaking to us now. You're telling us, the ones who have to deal with some of these issues, you're telling us something, okay? So what have we seen from the NDPs before? What's their platform, okay? They have outlined 5 key changes that they would like to make. And these are some of them. These are some of the past ones they've spoken about. And I mentioned that earlier too. But she's actually come up with a platform. So here, guys, the platform. What is a platform? A platform, you know what? I just realized that my time is running out. I didn't even see that. So it's okay. When I come back, I'm going to speak about the importance of platform, because I've been saying that word, and just realizing that I'm not really explaining what it is to you. So when I get back, I'm going to actually explain what that word platform means and why it's so important. Come on back to In the Now.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
Think you have what it takes to bring value to the community? The TCN TV network is expanding and now accepting TV show proposals. Here's an opportunity to build celebrity status and become part of an elite group of community advocates that are focused on building, strengthening, and empowering our community in a positive way. Are you interested in embarking on a new adventure? TCN TV is searching for people interested in opportunities to change the conversation and pave an unforgettable legacy. If you feel you have something of value to offer, send a written show proposal to shows@mytcntv.com.
Are you retiring smart? Make your home's equity work for you. With your home's equity in our 30 years of experience, the Retire Smart Properties team can help you achieve the quality of life you've always wanted. Our services are 360 degrees. We'll give you advice, take care of staging and selling, and help you find the perfect home and community to transition to. It's time to enjoy the retirement lifestyle you deserve. Visit our website today to learn how you can use your home to retire comfortably. The Retire Smart Properties team, powered by RE/MAX West.
You know what's interesting? It's good to have a team sometimes to bounce things across, because we have conversation obviously when the commercials come on, and I asked Ms. Anisha kind of where she was, and she's kind of like, I don't know, but at least I think I'm gonna have to actually start doing my research. And you know what? That's exactly what I wanted to hear. I want people to at least be a little bit interested into the process. There is no way, guys, that I can go through everything that's been said in an hour, everything that's been done. I want a spark. This is what this is. This is a spark. Now, Anisha was saying you can actually do it online off your phone. Pick up your phone and go to each of the parties. You can just click it on Google. It'll bring up the main person. You know the names. You're going to have the names from here. Click on their pages and see what they're saying to you. What are you offering me? Why should you get my vote? Say something. Speak to me. Everyone's going to be spoken to differently. We're all going to have our choice, but at least you have a choice, guys. Use it. So, NDP platform, that's where we were. We're gonna do NDP quickly, and then we're going to go to Liberals. Liberals is a little bit more popular because you guys all love Justin Trudeau. A lot of you sometimes have some problems with Kathleen Wynne we're going to speak about. We're all going to speak about some of the things that she has done. So, again, I'm going to be offering two sides to all of this. So, what's on the NDP platform? So, one of the things is they're going to provide drug and dental coverage for all Canadians, okay, which would be awesome. Dental is so expensive. It would be really great. Now, of course, that's going to come with weights, you guys. And of course, again, the money has to come from somewhere, all right? And hallway medicine and fixed senior care, which I think is very important. Our seniors, my mom always says this, we're all going there at some point. So we may not care about senior care right now, but you're going to be a senior eventually. And you want to know that something's been set in place. Again, you are building blocks of this country and of at least our province, okay? Cut hydro bills 50%, please, by bringing Hydro One back into public hands. So as you guys may know, the Liberals actually Kathleen Wynne, more specifically, privatized it, which means everything went up, guys. So I'm sure you looked on your bill, you're like, how is it this high? Because it's privatized now, so they can do what they want, okay? Take on student debt by converting loans to grants and covering thousands of student jobs. Protect middle-class families by having the wealthiest people and most profitable corporations pay their fair share. That sounds lovely. Really, it does. It does. Like, whew. At least they gave us something. They gave us a platform, okay? Like, they gave us something to say, okay, can this happen? Can this work, right? So I have a video there, though, because the NDPs at one point got into a little bit of trouble. I hope I brought that video up. Did I? Yeah? Okay, good. Let's play this video because, again, I'm going to offer good, but I'm going to share those skeletons, too. You need to know.
You may have missed it, but this happened.
It was a stunning admission with less than three weeks to go before the election. The NDP admitting over the weekend that there is a $1.4 billion costing error in their platform.
The Ottawa Citizen reported that the NDP had wrongly categorized a $700 million reserve fund as revenue. So how does $700 million become $1.4 billion? Well, first you have to know what a reserve fund is. By law, governments must set aside money just in case something unexpected happens that requires immediate funding. But here's the thing, reserve funds have to be counted as an expense in the budget. You have to assume that you're going to spend it. The NDP's initial platform had the $700 million listed as a revenue. But not only is it not a revenue, it's an automatic deficit. So while the NDP platform looked like this, it should have looked like this.
We've fixed the problem that was identified.
This kind of mistake would be embarrassing for any political party, but it looks especially bad for the Ontario NDP. Not only because the party has been fending off accusations that its numbers don't add up, or because leader Andrea Horwath has talked a lot about how thoroughly they check the numbers, it's because of this guy. If you're over 50, you're probably cursing at your screen right now, and if you're under 50, you may recognize him as a Liberal MP or the interim leader of the Federal Liberal Party. Either way, that's Bob Rae, Ontario's first and only NDP premier to date. Despite the fact that he was elected premier before I was born, and that he then left the party to become a Liberal, Bob Rae's legacy as premier has haunted the Ontario NDP for over 2 decades.
As premier and president.
So interesting, because when I saw that video, like, once they brought up his name, what was his name, Bob Hope? Bob Bob Rae. I actually remember this man. I remember it was one of the reasons my parents were cursing. My parents do not like NDP. But again, things have changed, okay? But he did not. The one time they actually gave him a chance, they're just like, oh, you messed it up. Bob Rae, you messed it up. But it's okay. She's a whole new person. She seems to want to do really great things. So we'll see. You have an option now. Here's another option and a little bit more details on there. So now let's go to last but not least, Miss Kathleen Wynne. So, of course, everyone has a video. Let's play and see what the Liberals want to do for us in Ontario. Let's hear what they got for us.
Okay, I get it. Everything hasn't been perfect in Kathleen Wynne's Ontario. But 4 years ago, Wynne said she'd build Ontario up by investing in hospitals and schools and transit to create jobs, and she followed through. Our unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in almost 20 years. That's a fact. And As much as some other politicians want to ignore actual facts, Kathleen Wynne embraces actual facts. She also raised the minimum wage from $11.60 to $15, a living wage. To help the middle class, she's made prescriptions free for everyone under 25 and over 65. Thousands of students who couldn't afford to go to university or college are now going because tuition is covered. And guess whose economy is growing faster than the United States and Europe? Ours is. And which province is a world leader in taking action to protect our climate? This province. And who's the premier who made it possible to buy beer and wine in the grocery store? Kathleen is.
You know what I always love? It's always these people like, everyone's smiling. She's walking through a field. Girl, walk down Jane and Finch. Then make that commercial. Just saying, walk in Driftwood. Some options for next time, just saying. Why are you laughing, Anisha? Walking through Driftwood? I know. So I'll do it. Trust me, and be so gangster. Okay, so what do they want? What is she saying? What is the Liberal Party promising us? Let's see. So we're putting patients first. They're talking about 131 hospitals across the province will get new roofs, windows, heating and cooling systems. So basically, they're going to be upgrading our hospitals. It's important. You know, we get sick sometimes. Emergency sucks. Emergency room sucks. So if they could do something to like improve all of that, that'd be awesome. So that's good. A fair living wage for all. So $15 an hour. That's what every minimum wage worker deserves, she says. Okay. I think there's some controversy behind that as well. But again, you know what? I don't want to speak about the controversy. I just want to present the facts of what they want. I've got to make sure I'm careful myself. Okay. So affordable childcare. This one was a little bit like, people appreciate it, but how it was dropped, they were just like, are you just saying this now to get votes? You know, is it going to be affordable? We hope so. That'd be cool though. It's a good one, right? Free pharmacare for children, youth, and seniors. I like it. Take care of our sensitive population, the ones that are delicate and need the help. I like that. Supporting people through a basic income. So also, a lot of people like to hear this. Free post-secondary tuition. It's all these words. I'm going to put the words out there because, again, these are words. They're not actions. They're words. They sound good. But, again, we have a platform. We hear what they're offering. So now, does this resonate with you? Again, go on the Liberal website. Click on there. See what she says. Don't listen to the noise. Trust yourself. Which platforms out of the three, whose platform best works for you? What resonates the best with you? That's how you're going to decide this. So we're all in this together. Everyone, I want you to understand, if you guys want change, you have to actually do something about it. And one group that I'm going to dedicate this last bit to, and who I'm proud of, is the millennials. Yes, the people who we chastise and curse. They're actually the ones who they're looking at right now to be doing most of the voting. So if you haven't voted yet, listen, there's still a chance. Let's play this little clip on millennial voting.
Always plugged in and on the move. Millennials know what they want, including in the Ontario election.
Transit is huge for people that are commuting into the city.
The free tuition things for students. Just someone who will keep to their promises, I guess.
Is this the first time millennials outnumber
baby boomers? It's the first election in Ontario that there's boomers aren't the largest cohort of voters.
David Coletto knows millennials. At 36, he's one of them. He says in this election, this demographic could be an unstoppable force.
While they might be less likely to vote, if they do turn out, and that's a big if they do turn out, watch out.
Getting younger voters to the polls has always been an issue, but recently that trend may have turned. Just look at the last federal election. Justin Trudeau's team targeted those voters between the ages of 19 and 36. Youth turnout increased by nearly 20%, ultimately helping the Liberals win a majority.
He's not a millennial, but probably the most millennial leader we've seen in Canadian politics who could appeal directly to not only how we communicate, how we think about the world, the optimism that he had that millennials typically have.
Trudeau had a big promise that appealed to younger Canadians, legalizing marijuana. In the Ontario election, the three main parties don't have a plank like pot.
We need more transit.
It's time we bring the rules for beer and wine sales into the 21st century.
We need to take a hard look at government support for post-secondary.
How important is it?
Pollsters suggest the biggest issue is breaking into the housing market, which for many is unaffordable.
What's your favorite feature of
Oh, the kitchen, for sure.
Kara and Aaron Bailey say it's what they're listening for from the parties.
Because we're first-time homebuyers, and this is the first time that I've ever really looked into this type of thing, this election, it would be a priority.
But even so, I played a little bit into that more than I should. But you know what it is? We got talking again. So now, something that, again, getting this feedback from people who haven't voted is very, very good. So the idea of voting for the lesser evil is a concept that's really hard to get your mind around. Like, still, it's why we've been burned so many times before. Why even bother? Now they're not doing anything for us. Why should I even do this? Think about who you do not want, who is not serving your interests at all. And to think that if you had just went and voted, that person would have had less of an impact on how your life is going to look coming up. Okay, I don't know how many of you guys have any history on our politics here in Ontario. I would definitely advise you to look it up. There's some things that happened in the 90s that affected us when certain parties were around. And again, history sometimes can repeat itself. So just be mindful. Okay, I'm not sure of who to vote for. And I have to, you know what? There's a party that I didn't mention. I think I should in all reverence. The Green Party. I don't even have a picture. And I'm sorry. They weren't invited to anything. I'm sorry. Because you know what the funny thing is? They have really good initiatives. They're all about like keeping our planet whole. And I think that's honestly one of the most important things. We're doing all this voting for childcare. If we can't breathe, it doesn't... What does it matter what childcare? Like, honestly, like, we need our earth. So Green Party, honestly, maybe we should just find a way to support you guys when you guys get in there a little bit more. You know, we're going to help you. We're going to help you out. I think we as a community should help you out too. So guys, get out and vote, please. Get out and vote. I've explained in the last 4 segments. First 2 segments, if you are joining us or watching the replay or just clicked here at the end of the YouTube video, go back to the first 2 segments. It talks about how easy it is. You guys, you can do it online now. You can just register online, and then all you got to do is go in, piece of ID, utility bill, ID it, they check it, you do your little X, and you walk out. And to think, you know what? At least do it if you have never done it before. Just get it done. Pick your worst evil. Who don't you want? Guys, get out and vote. I hope this has been informative. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments. Please, I'm asking everyone who watches this video, including Anisha here and Dave, share it with one person. Just say, take a quick look at this thing on voting. You know what? Who are you voting for this year? Start questioning people. Put people's mind on it. If they say nothing, say why. Why not? Why would you do that? Did you know that? Guys, I will see you in a couple weeks on the Now. Have a good Friday. I'm about to kill everybody in this room because people knew about this. Why would you do that? Dana, why? Anisha, are you still taping?